Channel 31 acknowledges Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the traditional custodians of the land on which these episodes were filmed. The Boonwurrung peoples are the traditional custodians of the land on which the Channel 31 studio is based, the Wurundjeri peoples. Last time on Rediscover Victoria, we headed deep into the Victorian high country on horseback, experienced Mount Buller in the summertime, watched the sunset on the summit, and went kayaking on the beautiful Lake Eildon. What a trip! Hi, I'm Annie Louey and this is another episode of Rediscover Victoria. I'm here on the Trestle Bridge in Kilkunda and we're about to embark on a brand new set of adventures in my Kombi, Harriet. Let's go. Over the next 3 episodes, we're going from Phillip Island to Wilson's Prom, from coal mine to cidery, and from honey farm to brewery. This episode, we're off to taste the local drop at Bass River Winery before stopping in for lunch at the Kilkunda Ocean View Hotel. Later, it's on to Seal Rock in Phillip Island. And finally, I have front row seats for the Penguin Parade at Twilight. Up first for today, we're heading to Bass River Winery. Only 1.5 hours from Melbourne CBD, Bass River Winery specialises in Chardonnay and Pinot Noir varieties. We've driven about 4 hours from Lake Eildon to continue our epic road trip in South Gippsland. This beautiful winery is bordered by the Bass River, from where it gets its name, and the southern end of the Strzelecki Ranges. It's the perfect location for making a delicious drop of wine. Let's go and have a chat with winemaker Frank Butera and find out what makes his family's wine so special. Here we are at the Bass River Winery. I'm joined by Frank now. We're walking through one of his vineyards and I can see tiny little grapes already about to come up. What are we looking at?
We're looking at Chardonnay. This is our third Chardonnay block and planted in 1998. We came to the region back in the early 70s, fell in love with the area, and here we are nearly 25 years later, growing great premium grapes in a maritime cool climate. Some of the best Pinot Noir and Chardonnay that's available in Australia.
Did you grow up around wine?
Yeah, yep. so growing up there was never a meal without bread and wine on the table.
How old are the vines that we're seeing here?
So these vines are approaching 25 years old, and this is our first block that we planted at Bass River. The region's well known as a cool climate viticultural region. We're only about 10 kilometres away from the coast here. The beauty with cool climate areas is that we have a lot of hang time. So the hang time is when the grapes are starting to mature and almost ready for harvest. But then during that autumn period when we get those really lovely cold nights, the grapes tend to retain their acid. And from that, we have lovely fruit and lovely acidity in the grapes, which make superb wines.
What have you got on the other block?
Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are our main contributor, I guess. There's a bit of a reasoning behind that. They grow really well down here and they're well sought after. Cool.
And you've got some trimming going on as well. What are they doing to the vines?
So we've just run the tractor through the vines to trim the vines, and that's basically just getting rid of excess foliage, which can be not helpful, I guess, in growing grapes. What we're trying to do is get sunlight onto the grapes. What we need to do is actually concentrate all those carbohydrates that are coming from our ground up into the grapes.
You must have a lot of different jobs on site. Is there something that you enjoy doing the most?
I enjoy making wine. Everything's great to do on site, you know, from bottling to cutting the grass to leaf plucking, but making wine and crushing fruit is spectacular.
Yeah. May I ask what leaf plucking is?
So leaf plucking is when you put your hands around the bunches, around the small bunches there, and you pull the leaves away so that the sun can actually touch the berries.
Is it leaf plucking time? Can I pluck a leaf?
You can pluck a leaf, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, show me how
Don't
it's
pluck
done.
a grape, pluck a leaf.
Okay, will I be ejected from this place if I accidentally pluck a grape?
So you might just want to do...
Oh.
It's always good to have a nail. Right? You just want to...
How did you do it? It's actually quite hard. Oh, so you kind of dig into it.
So dig into it, that's right, yeah.
There we go. Thanks very much for that.
Did you want to taste some wines in our barrel room?
Absolutely. Let's head over. So Frank, we're here at your bar now. What are you going to serve up?
Today we're going to start off tasting the Chardonnay. This is a 2019 Chardonnay, which has done very well at the recent Gippsland Wine Show.
What did it win?
It picked up a gold medal in its class. It's just right on vintage at the moment. It's a nice, fuller sort of style Chardonnay, great acid, as we were talking about in the vineyard, that sort of flow through there, and lovely sort of melony sort of flavours.
I can really taste the melon when
Excellent,
you mention
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so lime and lemons, some melon sort of characteristics come through in Chardonnay. It also is lovely full body and keeps you lingering.
Yeah.
Keeps you wanting more.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Absolutely. So in the barrel room we tasted a little bit of Pinot, and here we've tasted Chardonnay. Both those wines make sparkling and are always been contributors to sparkling wine in Australia.
The anticipation. Do you have a technique for getting a good pour? Because I always get too much froth on my bubbles.
Just a slow pour. Made of 50% Chardonnay, 50% Pinot Noir. And this is a 2016. Ours stays in bottle for at least 36 months, because we find that in Gippsland, that period of time actually does produce a lovely complex wine. So what we have here is beautiful acidity in the wine, as well as those secondary characteristics that you sort of find in sparkling, which include those sort of brioche, breadcrumbs, and so on.
You're meant to taste breadcrumbs.
Yeah, you can smell it as well.
I need to concentrate. I might need some more practice, so would you suggest getting a bottle for that?
Absolutely. That and some oysters down to the local would be perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it sounds like I'm going to have to get a bottle of the Pinot Noir and some of the bubbles as well. Thank you so much for having us, Frank. Cheers.
It's a pleasure. Cheers.
Frank reckons that I really nailed that leaf picking thing, so he has given me the keys to his Ferrari, and I'm about to give the vines a trim. Check this out. I've had a lovely morning here at Bass River Winery, but I'm off to my next destination, the seaside town of Kilcunda. The road trip continues after the break.
Whilst filming Rediscover Victoria, our crew travelled in style thanks to Harriet the Kombi, where the dream and possibility of driving a Volkswagen Kombi has become a reality. Our team of Volkswagens are here for you to experience the joy and magic of a Kombi ride for all purposes, including camping, weddings, marketing, photo shoots and more. When you think of a Kombi, you can't help but smile, and the experience of a Kombi trip is once in a lifetime. The vehicles are unique and fun and will definitely be a showstopper when you pull up to any occasion. You can hire Harriet, an automatic 8-seater Kombi with a sliding sunroof, for your next road trip, or one of our other Volkswagen vehicles. This is a truly unique business. Hire a Kombi allows you to pick up your van, leave your car and head away for moments of a lifetime. So go ahead and fall in love with the Kombi experience. We promise it's very hard not to. For inquiries or to book your next Kombi, head to hireakombi.com.
It's only a short drive in Harriet from Bass River to Kilcunda. Kilcunda is a seaside town located about 90 minutes from Melbourne. Nestled between Phillip Island and Wonthaggi, Kilcunda hosts a popular swimming spot at the Bourne Creek Trestle Bridge. There is plenty to do around here for water lovers, including fishing, swimming and boating. Sand dunes rise high above the river mouth, offering scenic views of the windswept ocean beach. If water isn't your thing, Kilcunda also stands at the trailhead of the George Bass Coastal Walk and the rail trail for bike riders. The Bass Coast Rail Trail follows the route of the former railway line, which connects Neora with the coal mine at Wonthaggi. One of the best known features along this walking and cycling track is the Railway Trestle Bridge over Bourne Creek. Built in 1910, it offers a spectacular vantage point, providing views of the surf beach below and the rolling hills inland. Located right on the Bass Highway and overlooking the ocean, the Kilcunda Ocean View Hotel is a local landmark. Erected in the early 1900s, the original building was thought to have burnt down, and the current one on site was rebuilt in the 1920s. The Ocean View Hotel lives up to its name, as you can catch the 180-degree views of the ocean from its veranda. Known as the Killie to locals, the hotel is famous for its incredible sunsets, great pub meals, and live music. I'm heading inside to go and find a nice glass of wine and stop for a bite to eat, courtesy of international head chef Ivan Sanchez Perez. We've had a big morning at the winery. I did a lot of hard labour, so this is why I'm here to eat some food at Kilcunda at the Ocean View Hotel with these stunning views of the beach. I've got a flake in front of me. It is locally sourced gummy shark, and I've also got Cuban ribs because the chef has a specialty. He is Cuban. And this is a wine from Bairnsdale, so pretty Victorian here on a plate. It looks delicious and I can't wait to tuck in. With a little help from the crew, we finished off my lunch and got back on the road once again. This time we're headed west to Victoria's favourite island, Phillip Island. Make sure you put your serious driving face on. No, really, why do I always look so serious when I drive? Once on Phillip Island, we're heading to the bottom southwest until we reach the very tip of the peninsula. This is known as the Nobbies, or Seal Rock. Overlooking the Bass Strait, the Nobbies boast spectacular clifftop views. The Nobbies is an incredibly important site for Australia's largest colony of fur seals. If you are lucky enough to see some seals, they'll be perched on Seal Rock, just a couple of kilometres out to sea. The seals that gather here are the largest of all the fur seals in the world. They are recognisable by the brown hair that covers their body and prefer to live along rocky coastlines. This makes the Seal Rocks a perfect breeding habitat for the Australian fur seals. Sadly, today was not the day for seals, but we did manage to spot many other adorable animals as we walked along the boardwalk. Even with the absence of seals, the landscape of the Nobbies is very different to the rest of Victoria's coast. You can't help but get swept away by the beautiful scenery and those forceful Bass Strait winds. It's finally time to go and see those little penguins. We met up with our ranger Sonia, who guided us down to where the penguins come to shore. Phillip Island is home to the largest little penguin colony in the world. You can experience the magic of watching these amazing seabirds waddle home to their burrows any night of the year from the Phillip Island Nature Park's viewing platforms and boardwalks. We're here waiting under a marquee for the rain to stop. We are going to the Penguins Plus area, and the expected time tonight for the penguins to arrive is 8:46 or 45 p.m, so pretty exciting stuff, but it is pretty torrential at the moment. I just found out that this area right here is called the Penguin Highway because so many penguins come down here every night. If you want a surefire spot to see them, come here.
So there's lots of burrows under there. See all the poo and that? So they're going to be hovering under
Oh
there.
my God, there's one!
Oh, there's one. There
Yeah.
you go. There. So they're not worried because they know that they've got that coverage on their heads, so the birds of prey can't get them. So
Yeah.
they can just stick their head out early.
I wondered what all those little boxes in the hillside were for, so I checked in with Sonia.
The researchers will lift that box. They can go in and get the penguin. They can weigh it. They can measure it. Check the microchip.
Yep.
So if they did that with a normal burrow is about as long as my arm. And the penguin has dug that themselves. So then if you're putting your arm into a normal burrow, it'll just bite you.
Oh.
Yeah, they're quite vicious.
Wow.
So these are really, all of these man-made ones are for the researchers.
Yep.
Oh, there's some in there.
Oh.
That's penguins in their burrow.
This is where the general admission area is, and over there we've got the skybox where the penguin counting happens. And every night, or tonight, we're going to have over 1,000 penguins estimated to come in over there. And they've got to be really careful because birds of prey might come in and swoop on them, so they have to quickly run to shore, and if it's not safe, they'll go back into the water. And suddenly, a lone penguin arrived extremely early to the parade. Check out this little buddy. The first penguin's coming in, but I can't quite spot it. They're pretty good at camouflaging. Somewhere in the rocks over there is the first one. It might not come all the way to the shore, it might go back, but I'll try and spot it. Oh, I can't wait to go home and make myself some dinner and put my feet up and watch some telly. From what I've learnt here so far, it is very unusual for a single penguin to come out of the water and be using the superhighway so early. So we made sure to check in with the employees here. They said that the penguin looked nice and healthy, it had good feet, it had a full tummy, it's probably just going home eager to get to its young. So we're going to wait until the rest of the group come in, and they will be coming together, and hopefully we can get it before the sun sets.
Whilst visiting Phillip Island in South Gippsland, look no further than a stay at Glen House in Cowes. Nestled in extensive authentic heritage gardens and oak trees of the historic Glen homestead, this beautiful location will have you rested and relaxed in no time. With direct beach access, all rooms feature elegant and unique classic interiors, a flat-screen TV and beautiful authentic heritage garden views. A 2-bedroom self-cater cottage option with full kitchen facilities is also available to accommodate up to 4 guests. Glen House is a 15-minute drive from Phillip Island Nature Parks, where you can see wildlife including the world-famous little penguins at the Penguin Parade and Australian fur seals off the Nobbies. Phillip Island offers numerous nature walks, world-class birdwatching and a selection of swimming and surf beaches. For inquiries or bookings, head to glenisla.com.
As we waited for sunset, we enjoyed a bit more of the Bass Coast's wet weather, with the sun peeking through the clouds just to tease us. We were able to spot some other local creatures while we waited. Finally, once a raft of penguins started to gather, another ranger, Rebecca, gave the crowd a rundown on what was about to happen.
So welcome to the Penguin Parade. As I said, my name's Rebecca. Our penguins have been maybe about 20 kilometres offshore, diving at about 72 metres down to collect fish such as pilchards, anchovy and also some squid. Mum and Dad do not help each other find food when they're out at sea. As the sun sets, the group of penguins comes together and we call that a raft. If the ocean wasn't so rough, we would have actually seen that raft zooming in, and then as you heard, we can hear them before we actually saw them. This group of penguins is completely random. If Mum and Dad are in this group, it's just because they happen to be in the same area at the same time. Mum and Dad will definitely use the same entrance, but may not arrive in the same group. Because they're nice and early tonight, because it's dark and dreary and rainy, the penguins are a bit early. But they're really hesitant because they're looking over our shoulders, and believe it or not, there's blue sky over our shoulders. So they're thinking, hang on, those birds of prey, those sea eagles, those kites, can see my blue back on this yellow sand, and they're going to have me for dinner. So that's why they're really hesitant. That's why they're going, should we shoot? No, shoot, no. So only when they're 100% sure that they're safe to cross the beach and not become someone's dinner will they actually cross all the way. Oh, there we go. And that was a start, so I'll leave you to it.
So the first group of penguins are about to come through to the superhighway. They waited, they went out, they went in, and now they've decided it's safe. So they're going to make their way up. Here's the first one. A bit of a stumble there, but looking nice and healthy, really round, white belly. I'm kind of curious, they're walking underneath the boardwalk as well where we are. I can't believe they're so close, you can actually see a beak under there. They look confused, but they probably know what they're doing. Checking out the surroundings. They don't seem to be in any hurry, but... Once on land, a group of penguins is called a waddle, so we watched as the first waddle waddled their way back home for the evening. Go, little cutie, go! And now we wait for round 2. Second batch of penguins about to approach the shore. And the whole time I've had penguins beneath my feet on the boardwalk. They're everywhere. They keep ducking their heads out, checking it out. I didn't realise I spent so much time assessing and thinking about it. Some of them are going back to the ocean and then waiting around. Maybe they're waiting for a friend, but we've got some burrows right here and I hope some of them are going home right in front of us. Here come the next lot of little penguins, tentatively making their way to shore. Hear them crossing a little stream and making splish splash noises. They're all coming up there. Got a few going up the hill on a very well-worn path that they've forged because they've made the trip so many times. So a few of them might have houses right up the top. And it looks like the strategy is safety in numbers because some of the ones waiting down below have waited until a large group comes along so that they can tack on and go home. I'm following the waddle down the superhighway. I don't want to miss a moment of this parade. I was glad to see all the little guys make it home safely tonight, so I popped into the gift shop to find my own feathery friend to take home. We've had a huge day in South Gippsland and we've ended here at Phillip Island for the Penguin Parade, meeting some of the natives. We've still got so many more adventures to come, so join me next time. Next week on Rediscover Victoria, we're continuing our trip along the Inverloch coast. Heading down an old mine shaft at Wonthaggi coal mine, grabbing an ice-cold pint and a wood-fired pizza at Burrow Brewing, visiting Shack Bay and the Eagle's Nest, and finishing up the day glamping in style in Inverloch. See you then.